"Sir, first class is for premium passengers only. You'll need to return to economy." Those words hit me like a gut punch. The flight attendant's voice was polite and professional, but her eyes never made contact. The entire first-class cabin stopped in its tracks. Passengers looked up, some startled, others whispering to their seatmates. A few shook their heads with knowing expressions. None of them had any idea what was really happening. The black man standing there politely arguing for his rightful seat wasn't just another traveler. He was the very person who owned the airline. Let me walk you through the full journey, starting from long before the moment that turned a quiet plane into a powerful lesson in assumptions, leadership, and grace. I'm Darnell James, aviation entrepreneur, a former Air Force pilot, and CEO of Jetstream Airways, one of the nation's fastest-growing private airline companies. We've built a reputation for safety, innovation, and attention to detail. But here's the twist. I boarded Flight 262 out of Denver, dressed in a simple suit, name tag obscured under boarding pass data. Just another traveler named D. James, and opted for first class without announcing who I was or what I did. No frills, no VIP treatment, just me testing the system and frontline service firsthand. I wasn't looking for drama. I was looking for authenticity. How are our passengers treated when they know nothing about who's flying? So I scanned my boarding pass, took it to my seat in row 2A, chose the window for quiet and privacy, and began reviewing a briefing notebook on the airline's newest fleet acquisitions. The cabin was full. The hum of seatback monitors, flickering to life, filled the air. Boarding agents busied themselves with ensuring everyone was seated, under the watchful eyes of the senior purser. Then she walked in. The flight attendant paused mid-step, eyes locking onto me. She offered a smile, nice enough, but impersonal. "Excuse me, sir," she said, slowing her stride. "Are you in the correct seat?" I looked up, pensively, calmed by decades of de-escalating high-stress scenarios. "Yes, this is seat 2A, I replied, handing her the pass. She examined it briefly. "And you're sure this is your seat?" I held her gaze. "Yes, ma'am, it is." A small murmur rippled through the cabin, and then the inevitable happened. A passenger behind her whispered too loudly, "Shouldn't be in first." Now I felt it, eyes on me. Not the kind that says welcome, but the kind that says, "Why are you here?" I sighed inwardly. I'd expected resistance, expected the occasional oversights from overworked crew members. But still, I took her aside after the initial fumbling. "Ma'am, I'll gladly show you my ID if needed," I offered. She nodded quickly, called over a colleague, and in the jet bridge demanded my identification and ticket, then scanned both closely. The male staffer, gate manager, spoke first. "Can we see a government ID, please?" I handed over my license. Name printed clearly, Darnell C. James. Photo identical to what I look like today. His face paled, confusion evident. "Sir, we apologize. Just standard procedure," he stammered. I met his gaze. "I understand, and I'd be happy to return to my seat and sit quietly." So I did. I walked back in, returned to 2A, even ordered a drink, cold water. The attendant handed me a menu flatly, without apology. I took the glass and sipped quietly, letting the discomfort settle. Not because I enjoyed it, because it needed to be felt. 2 hours later, we landed in San Francisco, home base for Jetstream Airways. I sat, detached, until I heard my name uttered by someone I recognized. "Mr. James, it's such an honor to have you on board," called out the captain, stepping into the cabin with wide-eyed enthusiasm. Something shifted. Heads turned. Cameras clicked softly. I rose calmly. "Thank you for flying us today," I said, offering a warm but measured smile. The flight attendant froze. The gate agent's shoulders dropped. Passengers stared in realization. He caught my eye. "Mr. James, you're the owner?" Correcting assumptions with humility, or confronting them head-on, are choices we all face. I chose to address it directly, right there. "I am," I confirmed. "I'm here to see how we treat every customer, because this experience shouldn't depend on who you look like or what assumptions someone makes." The attendant swallowed. "I'm sorry, I had no idea." "It's okay," I said. but I hope we can use today as a learning moment. In the next 48 hours, the video from a fellow passenger, capturing the interaction, name on boarding pass, my reveal, went viral online. Headlines read, "They told the black man to get out of first class. He owned the airline." The fallout was swift. Many viewers expressed outrage. Some shared personal stories of being discriminated against. Employees in airline lounges shared their own unease. But as CEO, I had decisions to make. Public shaming? A viral blow-up? Not my style. Instead, I launched a company-wide initiative, mandatory implicit bias training for all frontline staff. Not the generic kind, an immersive, mandatory curriculum that included role-playing, real customer testimonials, and one-on-one empathy coaching. I named it "Every Seat Deserves Respect." We included a public pledge, employee testimonials, and new internal policies, encouraging staff to always check credentials quietly before assumptions, normalize asking questions rather than making judgment calls, offer assistance without prejudice to everyone. Every seat, we didn't just post a memo. We invested in travel reimbursements for staff who needed to attend intensive seminars, hired external diversity trainers, and built an evaluation metric to track improvements in customer surveys. But the real impact came in small moments. One evening, I surprised a flight to conduct a covert first-hand check. A female flight attendant greeted me with a warm smile. No eye rolls, no hesitation, no recognition. I nodded, introduced myself more humbly as D. James again, chatted with passengers, and received genuine courtesy that reaffirmed everything we were building. By year-end, our Net Promoter Scores rose significantly, especially in first class and business class. Yet the most gratifying moment? I received a letter from the original flight attendant, titled, "To the Man Who Taught Me Grace." In it, she wrote, "I'm sorry for letting our biases show. Today, I treat every customer as if they were you, because they are." That meant more than any PR campaign ever could. Here's the heart of the story. Never assume. Never let appearance or half-baked impressions define how you treat someone. Kindness, respect, and curiosity matter more than any title or ticket class. All of us, at one point or another, passenger, attendant, clerk, have snapped judgments. But real leadership? It's owning mistakes, shifting culture, and remembering that respect isn't a privilege. It's a basic expectation. If you felt that, tap the like button. It tells YouTube that people deserve stories that uplift and educate. Make sure to subscribe for more real stories that flip assumptions and remind us what human decency looks like. And I want to hear from you. Have you ever been underestimated or underestimated someone else? Share your experience in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, respect isn't reserved for those you expect it from. It's owed to everyone.